Hi, my name is Damiano Karachi. I am the CEO of Spectrum Accounting Services. We're a full-service accounting firm located here in Boca Raton with offices throughout the United States. We offer our clients a full litany of services from tax preparation, bookkeeping, tax resolution, accounting, and CFO services. We're doing this show today to bring to you important business and tax-related items that are going to help you in the future as things change. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy the show. All right, welcome, Maria. Thank you for coming here today.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
You look elegant today, as
Thank
usual.
you. Thank you.
I'm a little jealous. A little jealous. I want to share with my clients about cafeteria plans.
Okay.
And before we get to the cafeteria plans, let's talk about the duck in the room. Let's talk about the Aflac duck.
The duck in the room, right?
Yes.
Not the elephant because he's a duck, clearly.
Correct.
Yes. So this is our Aflac duck. It's the company I currently work for, which I have been with for more than a decade now. I love it. It's been a wonderful opportunity for me to really understand how businesses can offer benefits to their employees in a way that they couldn't offer them before.
Why the duck?
So, well, it's an American company out of Columbus, Georgia. It's been around since about 1955. And they actually invented supplemental plans. They actually came out with the first plan, they came out with the cancer plan. This is all they do.
Okay.
So, what's interesting is most people know our brand by this amazing duck that's here. So they'll see our commercials, they'll see the duck, he's always giving out money. They'll see Mr. Saban on there, the coaches and Coach Prime. Most people know who we are, but they don't know what we do, right? And we only do one thing. We insure our policyholders if they are sick or hurt, and we pay them cash. And we pay them cash so that they can be financially stable and that they can focus on recovery and respite and then come back to work.
Well, the duck, besides giving out money, told me a little bit about some good news. You got a promotion?
I did. I did. I'm now a regional sales coordinator. So I actually work nationwide because a lot of my accounts are nationwide, but I work mainly in Florida. Our home base is Florida. And then I also have a home base in New York. So I do New York as well. I do Florida. I'm licensed in pretty much every state. And so I work large accounts, medium accounts, and even small accounts, spreading the Aflac love, as they say.
Well, we won't talk about the Rangers and the Panthers, but we'll go on to we'll go on to something else. Supplemental benefits, cafeteria plan.
Right.
What is that?
So for employers, it's really such a quagmire now if they want to offer benefits to their employees. As you know, right, in your profession, you're an accountant, the second biggest cost an employer has is providing benefits, right? Outside of salaries, if you want to offer benefits to your employees, it's a very large financial cost, and it's a cash flow cost as well. If you were to offer your typical medical plans, like in the state of Florida, the employer typically has to come up with 50% of that cost to even offer. If you're an AL company, they call it, which is a large employer that has 50 more employees, you have to provide some type of medical benefit. If you do, a lot of times, again, you do have to share that 50% cost. A lot of employers can't do it. The benefits of partnering with Aflac is that we are not medical benefits, right? We are called a supplemental plan, but now we're actually being called an essential plan because our plans are becoming more and more essential to employees. And the reason they are is because if an employee is sick or hurt, what's the one thing they're not doing, Damiano?
They're not earning money.
They're not earning money. They're not earning a paycheck, but their bills are still coming, right? So you have to pay your rent, your phone, your car. How are you going to do that if you don't have any money? Well, you're not. You're going to go into debt, maybe credit card debt. But the Aflac plans are that kind of essential element since they pay cash to the policyholder that keeps them stable and keeps them kind of fiduciarily whole while they recover. The other difference is that Aflac plans are 100% paid by the employee. A lot of times employers will pay, maybe a proportion of the Aflac benefits for their employees, like maybe 10, 15, 20%, but it's nowhere near the cost they would ever have to spend if they were to offer medical benefits.
So basically what you're saying is the employer doesn't have to lay out pocket.
They do not. It's 100% employee paid, and it's truly a no-cost benefit for an employer to have Aflac. in and have it run right alongside if they offer benefits or if they do not. We don't require that an employer offer any benefits to have us in there. But a lot of times, if employers do offer your medical benefits, they'll have AFLAC in there because we can offer like the life insurance, the short-term disability. We actually just bought a full vision and dental company, and employers like have us come in and run right alongside. But the best part about our products is that the pricing doesn't increase over time.
And this is covered under Section 125
It is.
of
It
the
is.
IRS code. That's
Yes, the IRS code. So it is covered under Section 125. So that means that the plans can be pre-taxed. So the employer can save on payroll and employee taxes. And then the employee also saves because whatever they spend on an AFLAC plan, typically the annual premium for AFLAC plans, an employee will pay between, $500 a year or $1,000 and spend. They get to custom and tailorize their plans, add their families to it, and they can pick and choose what best meets their needs.
so basically the employee, okay, the worker,
Mm-hmm.
right, takes that money and doesn't have to pay taxes on the money he puts into AFLAC.
Correct.
So that's a big tax savings.
It's a big tax savings.
So if they're
yes.
spending $500 on the plan, it's really not $500 because they're saving some money on the taxes.
Correct.
And on the employer side, on the business owner's side, they're saving money because now they get deductions on the matching
You got it.
FICA, the matching footer, the suitor and the footer. So now they're actually saving money on something that they're not putting any money into.
Correct.
So it's a win-win situation.
It really is. It's a win-win situation. And, I think a lot of times the reason we're not in every single business in North America is I just don't think there's a lot of awareness. Like I say, I think people know our brand, but they, maybe they think we're car insurance or they think we're health insurance or they think we're flood or property and casualty. They may not know what we do. That's probably
Are
our
you picking
biggest.
on the duck? Yeah, don't pick on the duck. I mean, I think it's getting the word out there.
I don't think he speaks English very well. I don't think I think his language is a little bit off. I don't think he's talking as clearly as we need to be here.
I think it's not the duck's fault. I'm on the duck side right now, and I think it's employers don't understand. They think it's complicated. Is this a complicated process?
No, and that's a great question because I actually ran into this with my my agent that was working on a pretty large case here, like a client, and the employer just couldn't really understand that the process is really painless and it's not administrative. There's no administrative burden for an HR. So what happens is when an employer says, I'd like to have AFLAC products in my business and I'd like you to offer them and speak to my employees about them, my team or myself or my representatives from AFLAC will come out and they will, speak to the employees, enroll the employees. We can do it, in person. We can do it on the phone. We can do it, by Zoom call, whatever it takes. So we work with the employees, we talk to the employees, we enroll the employees, and at the end, we give the employer an Excel spreadsheet with payroll deductions. And that spreadsheet can just be uploaded into their to their payroll company or to the HR person that does a deduction. So it will just go along the deductions that they're already doing now. So it's not a burdensome. We don't ask HR to step in. We don't ask for any additional resources from an employer because we really don't need them.
And I'm not paying you any money. As
You're
the
not?
employer.
Oh no, you're not paying me any money.
So then how do we get? What do we need to do to get more companies to take advantage of Section 125?
I really think it's an awareness. I meet so many companies that are not fully familiar with Section 125 or the implications, especially depending on the size. And I think a lot of employers say, well, I have W-2 employees and I have 1099, different rules for 1099. Actually, our company allows benefits for 1099. So employers that have 1099s and don't offer them anything can actually offer them AFLAC products. We're the only one in the market that does that. So, you can take advantage of that too, but it's nice for the retention and retainment of employees and employers. But I really think it's an awareness and education piece.
What products go into the plan? I mean, you mentioned something about cancer insurance a little bit, but before
Right.
that you talked about some of the other benefits. So what exactly, the vision, the dental?
Right. So we offer full vision and full dental. So with copay plans, Aflac just bought a dental and vision company, so we have those plans available for our companies. So we can do full vision dental. We have life insurance. We have guaranteed issue products, which our employers love. I don't know if you're familiar with guaranteed issue means, if you
What is
ever try to get life insurance, it's a difficult process, right? You have to give blood, you have to give medical history. It's a highly underwritten product, but Aflac has a product that's what we call guaranteed issue. So an employer can actually offer life insurance without blood samples, with a very limited medical underwriting questions, and they're able to give the employees, no matter what their health is, right? Like somebody that could have all types of diseases or isn't well or is hospitalized quite often has the ability to actually purchase a life insurance plan without being underwritten, which is something that people love, because if you know everyone has a health condition, it's very hard to
I,
qualify for life insurance.
I think those plans are great. You're giving somebody insurance without the headache.
Correct. We have accident plans, cancer plans, which is actually the first plan our company ever came out with. And the cancer plan is really designed to sustain a person from the initial diagnosis all the way through their treatment or their life cycle, whether they recover or if they don't. So, and that plan is really designed to sustain them. As you know, cancer is a devastating financial disease. It's devastating to a family, it's devastating financially. It's just, I think if you look at the number one cause of bankruptcy in the US, it's a medical diagnosis, right?
Right.
And a lot of times, even when you have health insurance, you still go into medical debt. I mean, I can't tell you how many pizza parties and GoFundMe pages I have had to contribute to for people that may have had cancer or another serious illness. And financially, the family is on the verge of bankruptcy or they're losing their home. So this plan, the cancer plan, is really designed from the minute a person is diagnosed to keep them financially stable. They give out thousands of dollars upon diagnosis. And then as they go through treatment, they're getting monies for whatever treatment they're getting through the life cycle of that disease until they're either cured or whether they need continued treatment.
But my next question is, okay, so I get one of the policies. I get a disability policy. I get a life insurance policy. I get a cancer policy. But now I leave the company. What happens to that policy?
Probably one of the greatest benefits that you have with getting Aflac is that you can take the plans with you, right? And you can take them at the same rate. So for a lot of people that have the Aflac plans, like especially our cancer plans, we call them portable. You're able actually to take them with you no matter where you go. So an employee can leave the company, but they don't have to leave their Aflac. They would go on to My Aflac, which is our app, put in their banking information, and they can keep the plans with them at the same amount. So the rate doesn't change as well.
So the rate doesn't change for that person.
Mm-hmm.
So how about for me? If I bought a plan 10 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
has that price changed?
No.
So
No.
I'm paying the same price?
Yeah, you're paying the same price for the same plan. So that's another great feature, because a lot of times, do you have a long-term care plan? One of the things you notice if you have a long-term care plan is you're re-rated every other year.
Correct.
And your rates increase. So again, what's nice about Aflac is that we have policyholders that hold the cancer plans 10, 20 years, and they're paying the same rate for the same plan. Aflac will come out and revise a plan or change benefits, but the policyholders don't have to change their plans. They can just keep their old plans with their benefits at the same amount, and they're still honored.
So I don't get that. I'm not getting that sticker shock
No.
like I do every October when my medical insurance goes up 20% and I just don't know what I did.
Yeah, it's true. I actually used to be in the business of selling health insurance, and I probably shouldn't admit this, but the one of the reasons why I came to Aflac was because when I would talk about health insurance every year with my clients, and the price would always increase, right? and everyone was always angry, or their benefits would decrease and their price would increase. And then the rep for the AFLAC would come in and she would give out ducks and everyone would be so happy. She would give wellness benefits and the rates never increased. And I looked at her and said, oh, I just wish I had your job. So now I get to do that to my clients too.
I guess you can't be angry or upset when you're walking around with this big duck in your arms.
No, you can't. You can't.
Are
It's
we going to
great.
fight about who keeps this at the end of the show?
Well, I would really think you don't really have a shot, considering the Panthers are winning the Rangers, and
Well,
you're not a Panther fan.
We'll
So.
discuss that. We'll discuss that later on. You know, we could always put a side bet. We'll put the duck on the line. So Maria, my clients, they know they contact me, and I get in touch with you, and I make that introduction. But what happened if someone from the audience is not a client? How do we get in touch with you?
Well, you could certainly have my email and my cell phone number, my work number.
Would you like to give that?
Absolutely. I'll give it. It's very long. I can give it to you now.
What is your cell number? Let's do it easy.
Yeah, my cell number is 561-699-1488. So 561-699-1488. So for anyone that is interested in having us or talking to me about maybe how we can consult with their benefits or having AFLAC work right alongside with them, they can certainly give me a call.
Well, thank you again, Maria. I think this was great. I hope this information gets out to as many people as
I hope
possible.
so too.
And let's save them money and save them lives.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.